9:38, 14 March, day 14, Thursday morning. I left about 9:05 from Pinefield Hut. Had a nice night there, all by my lonesome, as usual. No problemo. As noted in Guthook, a couple of comments. The tent sites were a bit uphill, not much, but a bit uphill. So after a long day, that gets people's attention. It's like a padded carpet I'm walking on now, which I'm not complaining, because there are rocks ahead. I'm going to Black Rock Hut today, so it should be about a 13.3 day if all goes well. Supposed to get up to 62 today. So as I got to the top of the climb, I definitely felt like I was overlaid. So I took my top off. In Black Rock Hut, once I get up there, I'll do some video because there's some awesome views of these gigantic rocks that have been there forever. Just coming up that 600-foot climb, every time I come up a climb like that, it brings me back to my Marine Corps days. And even though I retired 2005, it's almost 14 years ago, this September. I think me, like all Marines, be they do their 4 years or 40, you get little daily reminders of Marine Corps, and those happen on every time I'm climbing. I think I made 5 trips to a Marine Corps Mountain Warfare Training Center, which is in Bridgeport, California, but up in the Sierra Nevadas, and a beautiful place. And back then, I don't know if it's the same thing, but everybody called it Pickle Meadows. I think it was EL instead of LE, so not the pickle that we eat. But I went there, I think 3 times in the summertime and twice in the winter. And the winter was a real killer, and units normally would go up there for about a month. I don't know if that's changed now. If you're coming from Camp Pendleton in California or Camp Lejeune in North Carolina, you're pretty close to sea level. And the base at the Mountain Warfare Training Center, I believe, is about 6,300, and we trained up to pretty close to 10,000 feet. I just remember one of the climbs we made one day, and one of the humps we made was up to hill 9999, which was marked that on the topographical map, and we always thought that was pretty awesome. I don't know why we didn't build a little snowman or put a few packs down and stand on them and say now we're at 10,000 feet. It takes a while for the body to get acclimated to the a mile plus increase in elevation. I think back probably to the first, maybe one of the first times I went up there, because when I belonged to 1st Battalion 9th Marines, I think we went up there at least a couple of times, maybe 3. And I remember the officer in charge of the instructor cadre, which primarily was a bunch of sergeants and staff sergeants drawn from all over the Marine Corps that became mountain experts. The OIC was Captain Ed Robeson. His younger brother, Maston Robeson, retired as I think a 2-star general in the Marine Corps, and I knew him years ago when he was a major. Think back to Captain Ed Robeson, because he was full of fire, and regrettably, God rest his soul, Captain Robeson retired as a lieutenant colonel years later, and I understand he got killed in a farming accident, which was a shame. The thing I think about on the ups all the time coming up, you're climbing, obviously you're taking a shorter step, and you got to move an uphill foot, it's going to be the left or right, and it will alternate. Quicker you can get up on bone, which is basically locking out your leg, then you got all the pressure or all the gravity of you and your pack on a bone structure, your skeleton, primarily your leg, as opposed to muscle. As I climb, I always kind of think I'm taking shorter steps. Not that you want to walk lock-kneed, but I want to get lock-kneed as quickly as I can. Even though it was beautiful and spectacular, at least me, I don't know if it was everybody, when we were on the buses going out of there, it was kind of like, hallelujah, we're leaving. particularly when, you know, we were carrying huge packs. We were dragging Archeos in the winter, which is sleds loaded with all the weapons and, you know, tents and stuff like that. But what a view here. I'll just give you a quick peek over my shoulder. In the wintertime, I told you about Marines like a little creature comfort, even though, you know, we all think we're the toughest guys in the world. And in the winter, back then, I'm certain it's the area where all the Marines lived, that were the rotating unit, was a whole bunch of GP tents, general purpose tents, which are, I guess, are about 20 by 40, canvas sided. And I recall down there they reinforced the insides of them instead of the standard poles and stuff. They had wooden frames built, and they'd throw the tent on top of it. But there'd be a stove inside, and sometimes we Marines would turn the stoves up way too high, and you could see it from outside. If you were outside walking, you would see the chimney that would be glowing red, which was no good. And a couple times we had fires, and fortunately nobody got hurt or injured. Probably just pride, but when you saw a GP tent stop burning back then, they went up pretty quick. And so once the fire started up where the chimney exited the tent, then you'd see Marines diving out the sides of the tent, then cots, then backpacks, sleeping bags, skis, whatever other equipment was inside the GP tent would come out, and the tent frequently would burn right down on the frame. But fortunately, nobody ever got hurt. I only saw that happen once or twice. Simplified all the Marines out there, and thanks for all that great instruction about how to live and fight in the elevation and in the heavy-duty weather. Particularly with old Mr. Soul over here on my left shoulder. I had to ditch the leggings, so now I'm down to hiking shorts, so I'm in my summer 95-degree hiking attire. Seems like some of the bugs are coming out now as well. I was doing a pretty good downhill coming down this path here. I heard this water for quite a ways. Plenty of water everywhere. Really gushing out of the rocks. I'm just south of where the ledges and the cliffs are, for those a bit familiar with the trail. But there's these smaller blowdowns all over the place that I've been wrestling with, because they're all up in the top here in the exposed area. But, you know, you press on and you just go around or go through them as best you can. I guess this dude lost his battle with going through the blowdowns. Not moving at the speed of heat by any stretch of imagination today. Today has been blowdown day. I've been on my hands and knees 4 or 5 times today. I saw a couple of thru-hikers just a little while ago. They did tell me they saw a bear last night. Or yesterday at Black Rock Cut. There's a whole mess of rocks here. And it continues on. And I'll stop in the middle here somewhere. But the first time I saw this, I said, holy guacamole, look at this. It's amazing we put a trail through here. Look how this field of rocks just goes all the way down the hill down there. Just incredible. So we're at 3,092 feet, Black Rock Summit. There's a trail down there. I ain't going. The Blue Blaze. I'm going this way to the hut.